Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second part of this week's Copenhagen Dreaming. We are still at the court of the RE, and the last thing we heard was that August wanted to listen in and sort of drop a hint here and there, and in the break, Henrik let me know that he was interested in staying as close as he could to the RE, so that basically he could somehow make sure that the king got the full story, but the full story as told by August. And that works out reasonably well. You're not going to be able to talk to him directly because there are, oodles of people who constantly try to vie for his attention. But you do manage to speak to people. It very quickly becomes clear to you, if you speak to that person and that person, then they are the ones who go and whisper in his ear afterwards.
Yeah. So normal politics.
Yeah, exactly. And so you do manage to, at least you're pretty sure that you manage to convey the story of what has been going on in Denmark in a way that, in a way that fits with your take on the things, and that the king is actually aware of it.
Yeah. To be a fair king, you must have more knowledge than the rest.
Yep, absolutely. And at one point, you're pretty sure, you can't be absolutely certain because it's done in a very circumspect kind of way, but you are pretty sure that at one point you actually see the RE look towards you for the briefest of moments and actually give you a wink. Sort of a, I getcha sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, he seems like a guy just up my alley.
He's a pretty straightforward kind of guy. And basically the evening passes in this manner, including for Jonas, who gets out of there. And ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, this is a service announcement. If you are going for PG language, right now is the time to jump forward about 20 seconds in the recording. As of right now. Jonas is going to get so thoroughly, unambiguously, colossally fucked by the end of this day that he is going to walk funny for a week.
Yay!
Never has a player been more happy to.
I take it he had fun then.
He probably had more fun in that one night than he has had in his entire life leading up to it, at least from a sexual standpoint. You happen to end up in bed with another she, a satyr, and a knocker.
Wow.
The knocker has some interesting toys.
How does one create a small and what's the word I'm looking for? How does one create a small and very noticeable flaw in a dildo exactly?
You don't want to know.
No, but I'm sure Jonas already does by now.
It's steam driven, let's put it that way.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Hey,
Oh,
it
it's
worked
fine.
perfectly.
Yeah, you know what he was doing.
In that case, where does Jonas spend the night?
You're not quite sure, but when you do get up the next morning and you're awake, you find yourself sitting completely hazed from glamour in St. Stephen's Green, just outside St. Stephen's Green when they open. And there's a very big dog lying next to you, looking at you quite worried.
Hi?
Ruff.
Am I dressed?
Yes, you are in fact dressed. You're also, for all intents and purposes, you're sore. You're sore in places you didn't know you could be sore after having that kind of fun. And you look like you've had sex. Let's put it that way. You can't hide it. The dog lying next to you has its head flat on the pavement. It's looking up at you with a very concerned look on its face.
I should probably head home.
Arf.
Do you know the way home?
Arf, arf, arf. It gets up and tucks a little bit at your clothes.
I'll just follow you.
Arf.
How did I end up here?
The dog shrugs.
Right, you know what? It doesn't matter. I had fun.
The dog walks you halfway through the city centre of Dublin until you get to where Francesca lives.
Do you want to come up?
The dog actually walks up to the door and kind of paws at it a bit and barks a few times. And Francesca comes out. She's wearing a what's it called? What was it? A dressing gown, and she looks impossibly beautiful, even though she's clearly just gotten out of bed as a result. It's not fair, It's not fair that anyone can look that nice having just woken up. But she just takes one look at this thing. Oh, Matthew, you found him. Excellent. The dog.
Hi.
The dog just shrugs again and looks at you and goes. Arr, 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 arr.
Jonas looks to Francesca.
And then he makes a humping motion.
Oh, were you there too?
The dog looks horrified and begins backing away.
Oh, I guess not.
No, he probably wasn't. But you do smell of sex.
I bet I do.
Come on in, let's have some breakfast.
I would probably need a shower.
You could probably do with a shower, yes. Yes. Probably a good idea. The others are still asleep, so you take all the time you need in the shower. I'll take a shower after you.
Thanks. How did I end up at the Green?
No idea. I have no clue. But is that where you came around?
Yeah, I'm glad I was dressed.
I suppose people in central Dublin have seen worse things than you naked.
I think he winks at her.
She smiles and does a little toss of her hair.
And then, yes, a soothing shower for my aches.
And your ouchies.
Yes. But they're good ouchies.
Yes. And the rest of you wake up little, one at a time, and realize that they're, because, back at Francesca's place, and the whole place by that time smells deliciously of breakfast.
Good morning.
And it actually smells differently of breakfast today than it did yesterday, because today you can hear Francesca's husband being, moving around the place. He is. You could, well, here's the thing. Those of you who can see Francesca can tell from the pained look on her face that this is something that happens once in a while. He's trying to sing O Sole Mio.
Oh no.
Catchword or keyword being trying. And she looks agonized at the attempt.
Mm-hmm.
I want to join him.
Oh no.
God. Yes.
The difference being Jonas is really good at singing, but
Well, true. That probably saves the situation. So you join in with the singing. Question is though, do you actually know the lyrics?
After a while, probably.
Okay. So in the beginning it's kind of halting, and then later it gets better. Okay. Well, she looks relieved when it gets a little bit better, and to those of you who see her, she just, looks apologetically in your direction, goes, "He does that sometimes. I don't know why. I can't make him stop. I don't even like that song." Anyway, good morning, everyone. There's Irish breakfast in a moment.
Good morning.
Did you all have a very good night? I know that Jonas did.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. How did that go?
What, you want details?
I think the word royally fucked springs to mind.
Oh,
I mean,
that would
that-
have been something.
That would have been a scandal waiting to happen, but I don't think it was. Yeah, either way.
Oh, so it maybe only have been baronially fucked.
Yes, I think that's. Yes. Yes. Sadly, the rest of us had most of the rest of us had a much more quiet and unassuming evening, but still, it was still good.
Well, that is a good thing. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Do you have any plans for today, and when are you? Not that you need to leave at any point, but I just wanted to know when your tickets back are for.
Book tickets back, didn't?
Yeah, you did book return tickets because you need to at least be back in time for school to start.
That's right. Yes. When were those due? When how long have we got?
You've got, I think you basically decided to stay until Friday, if I remember right.
Oh, so we've actually got.
You've got several more days.
Yeah. What are we going to do with ourselves? Because we've gotten, I think, what we want out of the Fey Court. Well, we haven't necessarily got their military backing, but we do have the official decree.
It's entirely possible that we can fast forward until you go back to Copenhagen. That's entirely doable. It's just that you have the time, so you could basically just play tourists for a few days.
Could do. We still need to make the excuse to, some of us have pretend school projects we need to get in more stuff to work on.
Yes.
And we need to spend time actually working on them.
Yes.
Well, let's use the rest of the time to give you guys an alibi then. And then just go back home.
Yeah. Actually, that's a point. I did mention this earlier. If I wanted to get some chimerical courtly clothing from here, what would I have to pay them?
A king's
In the
ransom
court.
in dross.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I don't have that. I have a king's gift in Dross, but that's between all of us, so I can't really expect to spend that on a nice sari. So. Oh well.
Basically, this is, the place where all the finest tailors in the Fey world come to ply their trade. Their prices are exorbitant.
Okay, one day I shall return, but for now... yeah.
Oh, and Agnes,
Yes.
you did come home with a bit of extra goodies in the form of a dagger.
Yes.
And now that you're looking at it, it looks like a what's it called? A handheld flashlight, like a torch.
Oh, nice. Looks a little bit easier to walk around with.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she's kind of aware that this was not a very good idea, but very relieved that nobody actually noticed.
As far as you know.
Yeah, well, her head is still attached to her shoulders.
Yes, that is a good point.
Don't worry, it's just the Majesty's most favorite thing in the world, Victoria.
Let me see what we have on here. because obviously there's a little symbol on the hilt of the dagger. There's a little piece of what's it called, heraldry.
Interesting.
And
Some kind
yes,
of picture of
let me see.
Do we-
Let's see. Yes, it's the it is a little black shield with 4 stars on it, and a dragon with no legs. It's got arms but no hind legs.
So kind of like a Linor.
Kind of like a Linorm, actually. Yes.
Have we seen this symbol before? Don't recall it. I don't recall that we have, but I'm not doing okay.
It's the shield of one of the Unseelie houses. It's called House Ailil. It's spelled Ailil.
Leo. I did remember what they were famous for, and I can't.
They are planners and very patient schemers.
I'm not sure that's someone I would like to have stolen something from. No.
They are, as it is known, they are known as expert political manipulators.
Ouch.
So, yeah.
And one of their daggers just happens to end up in Agnes's.
Just happens to end up in Agnes's hands, indeed. Do you investigate it any further?
Yeah, I think she's gonna investigate it and sort of just slide it onto the table and see if anyone else noticed.
Well, when you...
Not just asking right out.
Right. Well, when you actually draw this thing from its scabbard, and the scabbard is made of metal as well, it should be said. When you draw it, you realize that it is coated in something.
Something sticky, something...
Something sticky indeed.
As in blood.
No, more like something that doesn't look or smell of anything, but it is clearly there, and it is clearly making the knife sticky.
Don't lick it.
Don't lick it, don't cut yourself on it. In fact, probably don't even let it touch you.
Guys?
Yeah?
I may have made a boo-boo.
What?
This thing ended up in my hands.
Oh my.
I actually can't remember this time. But I'm not sure it's good. Did any of you see anyone with this kind of emblem somewhere yesterday?
Not that I remember. We should probably hand that back.
Yeah, it's got something on it. I think it's, make it a little bit more efficient.
Oh, yeah. That's... How did that end up with you? What happened?
God, she steals everything. Fucking amateur.
This time I don't remember stealing it. And I don't steal things, just... I don't know, ends up in my pocket.
Amateur. That's what I'm telling you. Amateur.
Right, that's probably not gonna leave the best impression.
Yeah, no. Francesca,
Yes?
what do you see here to point to the flashlight slash dagger?
It looks like a flashlight.
Um, it is not.
Oh, it's one of your items. Oh.
Yeah, our kind item. It's not mine per se.
Oh,
I kind of borrowed it.
and I take it
And
that
now
you
I'm
forgot
not
to tell the
sure.
person you borrowed it from.
Yes, and I think I kind of very much have to deliver it back, but I'm not sure what it means. Do you have pen and paper? Because it has something on it that might help us.
Well, I certainly have pen and paper, but I would say finders keepers.
Yes, normally I would say that, but it seems to be covered in poison.
Ooh. That's an interesting flashlight.
Yes,
I take it that it's actually a weapon of some kind.
it's actually a dagger.
Oh. And it is covered in poison.
Yes, I think.
Right.
It's sticky, it doesn't smell, it doesn't have a color. But it's
That sounds like something you
obviously-
should not cut yourself on, yes.
so I would just slide it back in and then I will draw the symbol on it so maybe you know who it belongs to, so I know who I'm gonna give a very, very big smile on the cookie face on.
See, we could try and find out who it belongs to. You should probably be aware. I just want to warn you that giving someone back their poisoned dagger is kind of telling them that you know they're up to no good.
I don't have to tell them that I know it's poison, I just have to hand it back and say, this ended up in my pocket last night, I'm sorry, I was drunk.
If you were the person who had a poisoned dagger and somebody gave it back to you, would you assume that they didn't know that something was wrong with it? I think you might want to hang on to this one and hope that nobody finds out. You will be leaving Dublin in a few days, and you can leave it here with me in the meantime.
That is actually a very plausible way out, but I kind of want to know who it is.
Oh, yeah, right. Curiosity killed the pisky.
I can take it to the court for you if you want.
That is also absolutely. I mean, that is also an option. You can do that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's someone against the king, then against our purpose, and just letting them get away with it would not be very good.
Well, that makes all the sense in the world. He might not have been there, or she, for all we know, might not have been there to move against the king. They might have been moving against another rival, but I absolutely understand what you mean. So let us make sure that you are that you can go back to court at any time. I think. I mean, there's supposedly someone there all the time.
Yeah, but they won't let us in during daytime.
Ah, true. Well, when the pub opens, you can go.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about noble houses?
Not much, no.
Alright.
What is you need to have the grammar to know things? What's kidding?
It's just like, it seems like everyone is kind of tight here, so you might know more of the upstanding houses and stuff.
Yep.
Does that make sense? That was kind of where I wanted to go. Like, if it's someone well known,
Then it might be easier to give it back. Is that what you're saying?
no, it's just to figure out if it's someone that's known for being, you know, slippery person or a slippery house, then we know kind of what we're up against. And if it's someone who's normally very respected, then it's a different situation.
Right. See, on one hand, we risk offending people by handing it back and telling them we know you have a poisoned dagger. On the other hand, we risk offending people by not handing back what we acquired.
Exactly, and just better figure out what situation that might be most likely, knowing what house it came from.
Is that something we could? Sorry, is that something that any of us could roll for in regards to either the knowledge?
If you have any kind of lore, Grimaire would work.
I have Grimaire. I'm hoping to buy lore next time, but I have Grimaire.
Grimaire's fine. Roll intelligence plus Grimaire. Difficulty for... You don't have any house ideal in Copenhagen at this time, so difficulty is 7.
Okay. Hopefully I've written this out correctly.
That should net you 2 successes.
Hope so.
It does indeed. So basically, you know what I said before, that they are a house known for being scheming, manipulative politicians. You also know that they are a house of royal blood. They have kings and queens around the world, and in fact, quite a few of them. And that tends to make them a little bit complacent. But other than that, they are politicians par excellence.
What house the king is at?
The king is House Gwydion.
Oh, dear. That means we're actually obliged to tell him.
Why?
Yeah.
Because someone with royal blood, who is, if not his opposition, but at least neutral to him and actually able to serve the throne, has a dagger with poison in his court.
I was about to say, yeah.
We mustn't necessarily assume there's a scheme at hand. Maybe someone just likes having dangerous weapons to protect themselves.
That is true, but we are obliged to actually tell him this because he is our overlord at the moment, and we are here on his good graces. So doesn't that, at least you and me, oblige us to actually do the right thing here?
Bearing in mind that compared to the first time we spoke to him, which was a matter of acting as diplomats, trying to approach him in a personal fashion may not be possible this time around. And even if we were to, even if it is necessary, even if it is the best possible option, showing this to him and saying this has happened in front of the whole court might also cause a stir.
We could just return it to him. Sorry.
So you cut out there.
Actually, I think the best way to go about this is actually just telling the truth. That we have a pixie.
It just can't help herself. It's not.
I think you might be onto something, Agnes. We could approach his sister and say that we unfortunately had a Pisky pick this up and we would like to return it to its rightful owner. Doesn't need to be any more than that.
Yeah, and then see if you react in a way that suggests any suspicion towards the owner, then we can put the card. Otherwise, get rid of it. I don't put it.
Or we could go the other way around and actually just ask someone if they know of any of this house.
Yeah, but I don't think we want to approach the owner directly, seeing as Francesca put it, they might not like us knowing about their poisoned dagger.
No, but we got friendly with both Puka and Red Cat yesterday, and they might know. Or If someone's little love toy could tell us, that would also be nice.
Someone what?
Well, didn't someone have a little love toy last night?
Oh, I don't think I picked up their name.
Done.
Or I probably did, but somehow that's been fucked out of me.
Yeah.
No, I think we should approach someone in the king's retinue, his close circle. We're not going to actually get to approach the king, I think, but
I talked to a few last night who actually has the king's ear, so I can go that way around.
that might be good, yeah, and tell them our pisky friend came upon this item and we would like to return it.
Yeah.
Then they can draw their own conclusions.
Let's take advantage of the fact that we're still teenagers. They think us dumb for some reason.
Yeah.
He does not be useful. He does not want to be caught with another weapon.
All right, so that's the plan. August, you'll approach these people you spoke to and tell them that we found this item and would like to return.
Can we go now? Ish. Not that we don't like breakfast, but
Well, you can't go until evening.
but
They won't let us in before that.
oh no.
So let's put the dagger away and then spend the day doing something towards your alibi.
Probably right.
Hmm.
Can we maybe go past a library where we get a little bit more information? And like, you know, like in Denmark where you can go to the Royal Library and actually get to read about a little bit about history of the nobleman.
Hmm.
Do you think that would be possible to do in Dublin as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can check out any books being a foreigner, but I think you might be able to read them at the library.
Yeah. I mean, just to know a little bit more about what we're putting ourselves into. I mean, if they have a long-standing history of opposing the king's house, then we kind of... Yeah, back to the whole thing about if we know what kind of situation we're in.
I don't think you're going to find anything about the Fey houses in a Dreamer library.
In what library?
A library for dreamers, you know, normal people.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, I was actually thinking about it. There was kind of a Fey library.
Good question.
Can we maybe ask, what was it? The guy with the long hair.
Aura.
Yeah, Ambra. Aura.
The sexy one.
Actually, couldn't we just hand the dagger to him?
I mean, I don't know if that would look any better coming from him than it would from us. He's still he may be of their court, but he's still a commoner.
No, I mean, yeah, we should probably return it on our own. That's that'll probably look best.
It's about taking responsibility for the things we stumble across.
Yeah, but I was thinking until then we could work on you guys' art project.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So-
I'm very, very happy to do something else and talk about the mishap.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to spend the day doing more art project things?
Yeah.
Not a problem at all. You spend all the time that you want on museums and street artists and so on and so forth. So you're pretty good by the end of this day. You're pretty sure that if you spend much more time on this, you're going to have what could amount to a pretty good school project. Might even be worth actually doing, because you never know if you could use it when you go back to school.
True.
Yeah, good idea. Make a school project so you don't have to make as much homework when you get home.
Yeah, exactly.
Good idea.
I think now, but eventually we want to go back to court. I take it.
Yes.
Yeah, and probably pretty not too deep around.
Yeah, you
But
can.
yeah, as early as possible.
Yeah, you can go as basically when they open. They you were there the night before, so yeah, you can go there. They won't serve you alcohol, obviously, but you can go and be let in, and somebody notices you and takes you up to the right room. Yella isn't there at this time, but but somebody else is there, and they take you up to the room and let you into the court. So no problem.
So to care for that, Agnes.
Yes, please. Take care. Don't touch it.
Thank you.
Right. Let's find these people you spoke to yesterday.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
Well, one of the first people that you come across is actually the king's sister.
Good.
Oh, good.
Oh, your grace.
Well met. Welcome
thank
back.
you.
She's still whispering, but as I said
Yeah.
last time, that if I do that, nobody will be able to hear me on the recording.
I mean, out of character, how does that work?
She's whispering because she's a slewer.
No, I mean, yeah, I know that. I mean, is it an adoption thing, or is they related by blood and she just happens to be a different type of fae than the king?
Probably an adoption thing.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, it could be the same mother, two different fathers.
Or something. But either way, he's asking us why we're here. Let's explain why we're here.
We're actually quite happy we ran into you, Your Grace.
Oh, why's that?
Our Pisky friend here happened to stumble upon an item yesterday that we would like to return.
Right. What item would that be? She does look kind of interested.
Well, it's actually a dagger.
Oh, so that's where it went.
Yeah.
Oh, it's yours?
Yes.
Oh, in that case, we apologize profusely.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Look very apologetic and sort of what do you call it? Snide.
Yeah, she curtsies.
Yeah, because it's very deeply sorry. It was so pretty.
It's okay, she says. Don't worry about it. I know how piskies are. You can't help it.
Nope.
And it's not the first time that I've lost something that belonged to me to a pisky, but it's not always that it's returned to me. I do appreciate that. Actually.
I have very sensible friends.
Well, she says, then I suppose I owe your friends a debt of gratitude as well, but honesty should be rewarded, she says, so why don't you keep it?
Gates open. Thank you. Can I ask you a question?
Be careful with the blade, it's always poisoned.
That was what I wanted to ask you.
So you've just saved me having to roll a willpower thing, Joan. Thank you. Oh, so that's. How does that work?
It's enchanted.
Ooh. I mean, you can understand that when we found it and we saw that it could do that, we were a little worried.
Alarmed.
Well, you should be worried, but I have used that dagger to defend my brother, and I have other weapons I can use to do the same thing, so not a problem at all.
Yes, that's it. That's. Of course, you understand us being young and naive. We were worried that this weapon might have been used for rather the opposite.
Of course. I'm again, as I said, honesty should certainly be rewarded, and that's why I'm letting you keep it, because most people would not have come back with it. It speaks very highly of you, and I will make certain that my brother knows what you just did. It is... Let's just say that it is a very good character reference for you towards what you have come here to accomplish.
And then I'm certainly happy we could be such sensible friends.
Yes. May I ask you another question?
Go ahead.
Already? How come that the markings on it is from a different house and I assume the walls?
Oh, sorry, I lost some of that. How come, and then...
How come that the markings on the dagger is of a different house than I assume being yours?
Oh no, I am actually House Aileel. I married into it.
Oh! I did not say you were a wedding present.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, one of my mother's many ideas while she was alive was for me to marry into House Aileel to make a closer connection between House Gwydion and her own family. I am, of course, adopted. But nonetheless, that was a considerable honor for my husband at the time, and I wasn't quite so... let's just say I didn't feel honored in the same degree initially, so we disagreed very strongly on this. When my mother was killed, I had a change of heart. I decided that to honor her wishes, I would go through with the wedding that she had planned for me. And it's the best thing I've ever done.
Then I feel too much lightness in this place.
So, in any case, she says, I am grateful that you did this. Believe me, it's my brother does have enemies. They aren't many. He hasn't had time to make that many enemies yet, and some of the ones that he has made I've taken care of already. But he does have enemies, and it is right that you came to report this. But I can assure you that my brother has no stronger supporter in this entire room than me. He is a very young ruler, but he is loved by those he rules over.
That was also the impression I got.
Yeah. It would be a disaster if anything were to happen to him. So therefore, again, you know, if this had belonged to someone who wanted to harm him, obviously it's the right thing that you let me know. But is there anything else I can do to help you with?
Will we be allowed to mingle again tonight?
Absolutely.
Then I think we should like to do so.
Of course.
Oh, you didn't get enough last night.
She raises an eyebrow and then she smiles a little and says, "Oh, so that's where they vanished off to. I see."
Jonas just smiles.
Hey, don't! I'm not casting aspersions. She said, "People need to have their needs taken care of."
Yeah, I mean, in a foreign country with a court as magnificent as this, I had to
Sample the
meet new people.
local. Sample the local cuisine.
Yes.
And what happens in Ireland stays in Ireland or something like that?
She looks at the rest of you. She specifically does not look at Jonas here. She looks at the rest of you and says, "Well, I am told that Irish sausage is decent."
Mm-hmm. Oh goodness me, that takes me back.
In that case, I think we shall mingle.
Yes.
You can do so without any difficulties at all. By now, obviously, you've met some people, and it's easy to mix in with people again. But the question then is if there is anything else you wish to do for the rest of the time that you're in Ireland.
Not on my behalf. Not really.
No. Because then I think what we shall do is to fast forward back until you go back to Copenhagen, and we will do that when we get back after the next break, which we are about to take now. So don't go anywhere. We will be back with part 3, and this week there will be a part 3.